Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. USA Boxing slammed for new transgender policy that allows biological men to compete against women. For sports fans everywhere that love equal competition, can't wait. A new kind of fight is brewing in the boxing world. USA Boxing, the governing body of the sport in the United States, is being slammed for its pathetic and disgusting new transgender policy that allows biological men to compete against biological women. Under the new policy, including in the 2024 rulebook, male boxers who transition can compete in the female category so long as they meet certain criteria. But adults can choose their category as long as they state their new gender identity and fully complete gender reassignment surgery. So they don't have to include their old gender, just what they claim to be now. Never mind if they went through puberty as a male and have denser bones, have higher bone density and more muscle mass and all that, I mean, as long as they're claiming something now, it's all good, right? Goodbye, sport of boxing in America. Nobody's watching the men, let alone the women. People aren't even watching the men fight right now in America. The boxing is second tier to UFC. And this just doesn't make any sense. Boxers who transitioned into women are required under the new policy to have testosterone levels under 5 nanomoles per liter for 3 years prior to their first competition in the female category. And their total testosterone levels must be below 5 throughout the period of eligibility. So there's so much here. When a baseball player takes hormones, it's called performance enhancing. But now this isn't. They're muddying the waters when it comes to performance-enhancing drugs, let alone fair competition. Nobody wants to see one person completely beat the crap out of another person in an unfair fight. This doesn't make sense to me. This is not a smart decision by the Boxing Association, and this might just be the end of boxing in America. I don't know, right? Those competing as men, meanwhile, must show levels of about 10 for the same period. So they're acting like born female are going to actually go and try to fight against the men. And if they are, they're taking testosterone, which is steroids. It's performance enhancing. You still don't want to see that. This is insane. The purpose of the policy is to provide fairness and safety for all boxers. Okay, so are they going to I'm guessing that they're going to go ahead and just get rid of weight classes too, right? Because this is definitely not promoting fairness and safety. What are they talking about? Safety for their feelings? Somebody's going to get brain damage here. Worse. USA Boxing says, oh gosh. But critics say it's dangerous for the biological females that the transgender woman will be competing against. Duh. US Boxing wants to get women killed. Jenna Ellis, a constitutional lawyer and former senior legal advisor to Trump, posted on X. Riley Gaines, a former NCAA swimmer who liked one of my posts the other day on X, has made a name for herself speaking out against transgender female athletes competing against male athletes. Echoed this sentiment, writing, "Mark my words, it'll take a woman getting killed before these misogynistic fools wake up." These people that signed this and made this decision, they need to be fired. The rule needs to be reevaluated by people that know better. One of the big problems that's going on right now in our country is people that know better just let stuff slide. Part of that's because they're afraid of being labeled an ist or some type of phobe. 2024 is the year for the comeback of normalcy, good things, and righteousness, right? And so we got to speak out against these crazy things when we see them. Colin Rugg, a conservative political commenter, also joked that South Park was right again as he shared a gif of one episode where Macho Man Randy Savage claims to be a transgender boxer and starts fighting women. Clown World, he wrote. It's Clown World. Conservative firebrand rep Lauren Boebert, the new policy lets men beat up on women in a boxing ring. Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Most people don't approve of men hitting women. So they're not going to buy a ticket to go see it. They're not going to tune their TV to go see it. And they're certainly not going to pay a dime to go see this. The people that do, I have some questions for them. Right? Let's call this what it is. They're going to allow men to beat up women in a boxing ring, she wrote. This is pathetic and disgusting. Female boxers who have also spoken out against the new policy, with MMA fighter Claressa Shields saying this is, not the right decision. Others noted that hormone therapy is otherwise banned in the sport. Of course, you can't be on hormones because it's considered performance enhancing. If we're just going to turn to Clown World, let's start giving all the baseball players steroids. I want to see 900-foot home runs and 75 home runs a year by a normal dude. You don't got to be Barry Bonds to do it anymore. Let's just do it. Give it to everybody, right? Let's give it to the football players and let's just see them crack each other's heads open. It's nonsense, right? You know, the NFL and the public made all this big deal about head injuries and CTE, and, you know, the NFL didn't have proper helmets and didn't care. And now boxing 8-10 years later is going to do this? Where's this going to lead them to? I see a whirlwind of lawsuits and CTE cases coming down the road, right? I mean, hopefully none of these women actually go and step in the ring against what was born a biological male. Oh, that's on them to go ahead and have the integrity to not do it, which is something that I wish that the college athletes would have done. But it's hard for them because their time is limited and their performance determines, you know, scholarships and stuff like that for them. So they have a lot more to lose. And plus, college kids are they're kids. They're still learning and figuring out the ways, and most of the, you know, kids that go straight from high school to college, they still haven't, you know, really experienced the real world yet. Again, people that know better need to stand up for the kids that don't, but yet here we have, you know, powers that be trying to make a buck, essentially, right? I mean, that's what this is about. This is not about fairness and safety like they try to say. This is about, you know, trying to fill fight cards, things like that. It has to be. Ebony Bridges, the bantamweight world title holder, also said the policy has no place in the world of boxing. I don't care about political correctness, she said. It's politically incorrect to have a man fighting a woman. Yeah, especially in a sanctioned bout where you got to weigh in and stuff like that. I mean, you're literally trying to make it as even as possible, and then you just stick a male in there with a female. It's insane. The society is too soft. This is our health and safety. So it sounds like she will be wise enough to not step in the ring against a guy like that, or you know, whatever. The girls need to stick together on women's sports, women's sports in 50 years will be filled with male-born champions. Of course, it'll only be filled with male-born participants. We'll have to create a whole new women's league so the women can actually fight each other. She added in a follow-up post, "It's bad enough having trans women breaking records in other sports like track and field, swimming, and powerlifting, but it's a bit different for them breaking our skulls in combat sports where the aim is to hurt you, not just break a record." And I 100% agree with that. This ain't just about test levels. What are their bone density and the heap of their Cutting your bits off and adding boobs won't take back the masculine maturity your body has gone through before you decided you are now a woman. Hashtag I said what I said. Good for her. You know, she's got a fighter's mentality. She's the bantamweight world title holder, and I support that, you know. And if you guys do too, in that we need to keep women's sports safe for women and women only, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.